Good morning. This is episode 17 of my little crochet chat thing that's going on. So I've been doing this for 4 months now, which is, I don't know, crazy to think. I honestly do wish that I had have started sooner. You know, there were so many blocks in my mind of, and reasons why I shouldn't do it. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm too old. No one's going to watch me. All that stuff. But hey, I just went and did it, and I'm absolutely loving it. Connected with so many awesome people out there, and yeah, I love it. If you're thinking, if you crochet, excuse me, if you crochet and you have thought about doing a YouTube channel and you watch others and think, oh, I wish I could do that, do it. Just do it. You don't need anything fancy. I do have a tripod, but other than that, I use my iPhone. I literally use my iPhone, and then I edit on CapCut on my iPad. That's it. That's it. Like, honestly, nothing fancy. I didn't plan on saying that, but it's true. I was actually going to do a separate video about all of that, and I still may. But anyway, long-winded introduction. If you're new here, my name's Jenny. Inmysparetime crochet. I've been hanging out on Instagram for quite a while now, and the world of YouTube is quite new to me, but as I said, I'm loving it. Thank you for being here, and if you're returning, thank you so much. Okay, I feel like today is going to be a long one, so I have no idea how long, because this is the beginning. You will know by now because you will have seen the time, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's been a lot going on this week, so get your cuppa, your work in progress, sit back, and let's do this. Okay, so firstly, I will do a little bit of a yarn haul because that came this week. In previous videos, you will have known that I was sent some yarn by Larissa at Scarli, a new Australian brand. And her first line that she's launched is a plush chenille type yarn for plushies. And I loved it. I really, really liked it. So I ordered some of the colours that I didn't have, plus 1 or 2 extras of what I had been sent. So I ordered some more of the ballet pink and sapphire, but I had to have, because you don't see many oranges in this kind of yarn, so this one's called mango, so I had to get a couple of those as well. So and I think I might have just the project for it, which is the Phoenix from one of my new books that I showed you last week. I'll pop a little picture in here. I think I already have the red, so I think that would work nicely. I also ordered 2 each of these baby blue. It's a beautiful colour, and this is it's like a neon pink, but it's strawberry. So they are also lovely, and some more kind of neutrally colours. I got some cream because I didn't have any cream. I had white but no cream, and another sand and an onyx, and also just two more chocolate because I did use some of the chocolate for the turtle in last week's video. And I wanted more of that because I want to make, I have purchased Cassandra from Craftably Ever After's Sammy the bear. I want to say it's Sammy. I'll correct myself here if I'm wrong, but I have purchased the pattern, and I do want to create him in plush yarn. So hopefully that might happen this week, so it'll be in next week's video. We'll see how we go. There's a lot going on, and my brain wants to do everything. It really does. It just wants to make all the things that I'm trying to prioritize, and I just can't make up my mind about what I want to do. Then I get overwhelmed, so I don't do anything. But I think, having said that, I have managed to be, I think, pretty productive this week. So let's pop that yarn aside and get into what I have been doing. Now, if you either follow me on Instagram or have seen my community tabs page, you may have seen that I started making Sunburst Granny squares. Now, I don't know why I have never made these before, because I have been crocheting for, I don't even know, more than 11 years consistently, like almost every day, except for when I had frozen shoulder. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, either way, I had never made these squares before. And when I was doing last week's video and I was choosing my yarn for my upcoming crochet along, I came across, you know, a reasonable amount of chunky yarn, and which is a weight 5 yarn, acrylic, and I don't tend to use it anymore. So, but it, you know, it's pretty, like, it's good quality premium acrylic yarn. They were Stylecraft and Paint Box brands, and I really like those brands of yarn for acrylic. So I didn't want it to go to waste, and I just decided I'm going to start making a few squares. The colours, you know, some of the colours I wouldn't normally put together, but the idea is that it was a bit of a stash buster. I didn't really know what I was going to make initially. I do follow Pretty and Pate, Priscilla, over on Instagram, and she makes these amazing scrappy cardigans. I'll pop a little picture or video in here. And so I thought that perhaps I would make that, but then as I was making them, I realised that I probably don't have enough of that yarn to do a whole cardigan. So I basically made, I think I ended up with 16 squares, and you know, some of them I actually really love. Like, for example, this one, I actually really like those colours together, but yeah, others wouldn't normally put those together. That one, I love this one. No, not really, but doesn't matter, it's a stash buster. I don't actually mind that one either. Yeah, okay, not bad. Yeah, I think it's, you know, I don't really love the black, but either way, the squares came up really well. So then I was just deciding what to do with them. I felt like if I'm going to make a blanket, I feel like it really needs to be quite a decent size, and I felt like I didn't really have enough to do a blanket. So I decided that I would make a scarf. So I've just shown you 8 that I haven't done anything with as yet, but I took the other 8 and I had just finished it off this morning. Actually, I have made myself an infinity scarf, or cowl, I guess. I have just joined it all in white. You'll see there, that is where I've actually sewn it together, because initially I was thinking I would make a scarf similar to that, where it's, you know, it's really quite long and you can just wrap it around and round and whatever, but it wasn't quite long enough for that. So then I changed plans again and yeah, just whip stitched it together and then made the infinity cowl scarf. But I have to say, I really like it and I think it turned out really well. I will pop in a little video here of me trying it on. It's actually very snug, and it would go really well under a big jacket with a hood, and it's been fairly cold here actually, so if I was outside today I would probably be wearing it. Yes, so I did that. I am thinking excuse me, for this one, now I do have a little bit of the chunky yarn left, not in every colour, but I would have enough to do another couple of squares. So what I'm thinking is that I will probably do another couple of squares and then I can join it like I did for this one. However, I won't join it together. I will make it a scarf like this one, where I can perhaps add tassels and then wrap it around. And if I do have enough black yarn, I'm actually going to join it in black, which is something that I wouldn't normally do, but I feel like it would work. And my other thought is that perfect time for a little tutorial. What do you think? Please let me know. I feel like it's something that people will be interested in, but I'm not sure. But I can show you, you know, how I've done my continuous join. Yeah, I just thought that would be a good idea. So let me know if you're interested in a tutorial for the joining of the scarf. I can also do a tutorial for how I've done my sunburst squares. There are a lot of tutorials out there. However, I have noticed that a lot of them are doing this third round, which is, you know, the petals. A lot of them are doing them as 4 double crochet or trebles if you're in the UK, 4 double crochets together, whereas the ones I've done are 4 trebles, US terms, together. So you're yarning over twice before you go in, rather than just once for a double crochet. And I actually prefer this because the petals are a little bit bigger. I was using chunky yarn and I wanted a big square. So these actually measure. Now, of course, I don't have my tape measure here because I moved it, but I will measure it. I'm pretty sure they're about 6 inches actually. And I'll put in how many centimeters that is here. Yeah, I think they're about 6 inches wide. So yeah, I feel like I do mine a little bit of, you know, because I looked at quite a few different ones on YouTube in particular, and I feel like I do a little bit of what other people do. I don't do any exactly the same as someone else, but, you know, it might be to do with, you know, how I start my row, how I weave in my ends, how I, you know, how many I chain, for example. I feel like I'm babbling now, aren't I? Either way, anyway, tell me, please, if you are interested in a tutorial for these Sunburst Granny Squares, and also a tutorial for the joining of the scarf or cowl. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing that. I really did. The Granny Squares work up quite, you know, reasonably quickly actually, and I found them very therapeutic. So now, of course, I want to order more yarn and, you know, with a chosen colour palette and make them, you know, you can make beautiful like sunflower colours, and yeah, the possibilities are endless. But anyway, that was my Sunburst Granny Square week. But I've got to tell you, I feel like I've fallen down a little bit of a rabbit hole. We know how that goes, don't we? Okay, small little side note. I did do a reel for Instagram, which was part of my collaboration, but I was sent one of these neck lights from Lumos. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. Yeah, to review. And I've got to say, guys, I really like it. I really like it. Now, I don't do a lot of late night crochet because I'm a nana, like literally, and I go to bed early. I just can't stay up. I just can't. But if you like to crochet or read at night, these are great. There's 3 different light settings on them, and yeah, it's really bendy. I used it when I was working with my black and I was sewing in the ends. It just made it easier to see, basically. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not trying to make this an ad or anything like that, but they did give me a discount code, which is Jenni25. It's only going to be valid for I'd say 4 more days from the time that this goes up, but I'll put a link below in case you're interested and you want to get a discount. So yeah, that was good. That was a nice little collaboration. Thank you. Okay, finished. Well, it's not finished, but it's something that I started. Now, in last week's video, I did show you one of my new books, and I said that the other book that I'd ordered was coming, and it did arrive. And it is Mix and Match Modern Crochet Blankets by Esme Crick, who is Red Sparrow Crochet over on Instagram. I have to say, I mean, I only just got the book, so I don't have a finished object, yet. But just looking through it, it is awesome. I'm so glad that I bought this book. When Esme released it, I sort of thought, oh, I'll pop that on my, wish list kind of thing, and then just forgot about it because it has been out a little while now. But if you like making blankets, it is gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's set out so well. On the front there, you can see 4 different blankets that she made. It comes with 100. Now, why I particularly like it, I mean, look at those color possibilities and pattern possibilities there. There is 100 patterned and textured strips so that you can make, like there's literally thousands of options for what you could choose to put together. And you make them from the side across, if that makes sense. You're not making it up, so therefore your rows are only the first strip that I have just done was only 20 chain. So obviously you're going for quite a while, but it was only 20 chain, so you could see growth very quickly. And I think with blankets, that probably puts a lot of people off. You feel like it's such a big job. But I think you get a lot of satisfaction out of this. And as I said, like, honestly, the possibilities are, there's just so many. And I'm going to get my money's worth a million times over, I think, with this book, because I do know, and I like making blankets, so I do know that I'm going to be making a lot of them. Now, I was just, right from the start, I was very taken with this blanket here on the cover, and it's called Desert Highway. So that, look at that, it's gorgeous. And when I had a look at my yarn stash, I happen to have very similar colors to actually match that, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to have enough. So I'm actually going to start with that blanket. Yeah, and I honestly can't wait to see it come together. Now, I've made the first strip, and so yeah, I really have been productive this week because I went back to work after school holidays. So this, literally has been in my spare time. Now, this, I don't know if you can see it very well. It's very textured. And this is the first strip of my blanket. And it's really quite wide. There's no hard and fast rules with these blankets. She says she gives you the multiples and things like that. She has made those ones, they're generally 100 centimeters wide by about 130 in length. Now, I didn't do mine because I felt that was really quite wide. So I I think mine measures probably about maybe 85 or towards 90 centimeters. So what I might find is that I might either omit one of the strips because I don't want it to be, you know, too long and look out of proportion with the width, or I can actually just do less chains on some of the strips and make them shorter so that the length of my blanket isn't as long as what Esme's is. But yeah, I honestly cannot wait to see this come together. And already there's so many other patterns and things that I want to try. I have done some tapestry crochet before, but I've never done the mosaic crochet, so that's going to be something new for me. But yeah, it's going to be great. I do think I'm also going to do, this doesn't really have much of a border on it, but I quite like my blankets to be heavily bordered, I suppose, or have a, you know, quite a, I don't know, a decent width of a border. So that is also actually going to add width as well, which was why I didn't feel it necessary to do the whole 100 centimeters. So yeah, I absolutely love that book. Okay, here's another picture of the actual blanket that I'm going to be making. I don't think I'll be putting the pom-poms on it. As I said, I'm going to have a different border, but I cannot wait to see it come to life. Now, so as I said, there are 100 different strips. Now those strips are divided into 8 sections. So those sections are classic, texture, mosaic, as I said, filet crochet, embellishment, ribbing and cables, and I haven't really done much in the way of that either, so that sounds like fun. There's tapestry and also bobbles, puffs and popcorns. Yeah, so there's, as I said, there's just so many possibilities, and I think it is honestly money very, very, very well spent. It's, you know, it's set out beautifully. The instructions are very, very clear, and yeah, you'll get so much inspiration from this book. And as I said, if you are one to maybe feel a little overwhelmed by the thought of making a big blanket, I think this is a really good way to do it, because you can just do the strips. They're going to work up much, much quicker, and then you just stitch the strips together, which I don't imagine is going to be very difficult. So yeah, keep your eyes on my channel to see, number one, how that blanket turns out, and then what other blankets I may come up with in the future. You can also make scarves as well. There's and she does actually have one example in there of a scarf using one of the strip patterns. So yeah, I love that book, and I'm so glad that I bought it. I was fortunate enough to have another Etsy order this week, actually by one of my friends that I met through essential oils, and she is a beautiful soul, and she is very, very talented herself. I recently commissioned a felted piece of my sister's dog who had recently passed away, and she knocked it out of the park. She did such a great job. Hopefully I'll have a little picture in here for you, but as I said, she is very, very talented herself. Anyway, she ordered my one of my pink Harper doll carriers for her gorgeous little girl who is having a birthday very soon. So she was supposed to message me beforehand because I was going to give her a little discount code, but she was naughty and she didn't do that. So little does she know, she's got a couple of extra little things in her package. So I look forward to her receiving that. Now, speaking of packages, I have been very patient and not opened this because I wanted to do it on camera. Now, a number of weeks ago now, I have spoken about it before in one of my previous videos. I sent a package to Quinn at Cat Cake Crochet. It was an amigurumi book that I knew I wasn't going to use. I knew that she probably would, and so I reached out to her and she was more than happy to have it. I also popped a little something in there for her daughter as well. So yeah, and she very kindly, now she did not have to do this because I wanted to gift those things to her. However, when she knew I was going to be sending her the book, she said, oh great, you know, we'll do a trade, you know, I'll send you some of my painted eyes that she's been doing. So I haven't even looked at these yet. The big reveal, oh my gosh, they are absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if you're going to see, look, we've got little strawberries, little pieces of, it looks like, you know, lemon. We've got flowers. Oh, they are so cute. They are so, so cute. Thank you, Quinn. Oh, they're adorable. Oh, I'm going to have to, these bigger ones in particular, I'm really going to have to pick the perfect project for those. So we've got the backs there for them. They are gorgeous. Thank you, Quinn. And oh, she sent me a little card as well. Oh, that's so cute. And of course, her daughter has drawn on it as well. That is so sweet. Thank you, Quinn. I absolutely love these. And I can't wait to show you what I decide to use them on. Yeah, so that was Happy Mail. That was so hard to not open because I knew that there were going to be hand painted eyes in there. So yeah, thank you so much, Quinn. Okay, now I have no idea how long this has been going on for now, but that's okay. Maybe it's not going to be as long as what I thought. But I guess the only final thing, actually no, there is one more thing, but I will just mention I popped a separate video up yesterday because we are on the countdown for my A Year of Granny Squares Cal. I'll link the video here. If you haven't seen it yet, or if you're interested in, you know, intrigued and don't know what I'm talking about, but that starts this Thursday, so I'm super excited about that. And the final thing I do want to mention, I want to do a little shout out for my beautiful friend Jill at Gumleaf Crochet. Actually, I think she's Gumleaf Crochet and Yarn on here. I will know by the time I edit this video. Jill and I have been friends over on Instagram for a very long time now. She also lives in Australia. She lives 3 to 4 hours away from me. And hopefully one day we'll actually get to chat in person. But either way, she's a beautiful soul. And we've been talking a lot recently about her starting her channel, and of course I encouraged her to do so. She's done that. She's got 2 videos up, so I'm going to link her channel below. Please go and check her out. She is a wonderful lady and one of my dearest crochet friends, so go and check her out. She also dyes hand dyes yarn. She does it, you know, it's not something she does all the time, but when she has the inclination and the energy, she does it, and I've purchased from her before. If I haven't used it, I will pop in a little video at the end of some of her yarn that I've purchased before. But yeah, she is lovely, so please go and check her out and tell her that Jenny sent you. Yeah. Okay, I had a look and I still have it. This is the trouble with beautiful hand-dyed yarn. It is so beautiful, and especially when it's hanked up, I don't want to touch it. I just want to look at it. So this was a set that I bought from Jill. probably a little while ago now actually, but it's absolutely beautiful. It goes really well together. This is a sport weight or a 5 or 6 ply, and it is superwash extra fine merino. Yeah, it is so beautiful. I know I can't just look at it, that would be just silly, so maybe I will. Oh, they'd make beautiful little granny squares, wouldn't they? They go really well together. Maybe I should put that on my to-do list. It's just so beautiful. I just almost don't want to touch them. But yeah, Jill does a fantastic job. Another thing I'll mention about Jill is that, and if you check out her channel, you will see she's working on the most gorgeous little temperature blanket, and that sparked some conversation between the two of us. I've never done a temperature blanket before. I feel like the whole thought of it overwhelms me a little bit, but she's just doing small little 2 round granny squares, and then she's doing a continuous join as you go thing, and I feel and she's able to keep up with that quite easily, so she has inspired me to want to do one next year. So we're both going to do one next year as well, so I actually look forward to that. And as I said, I've admired other people's temperature blankets, but never thought I would have the motivation to do one, but now I do. Thank you, Jill. Yeah, go and give her a follow. I do think that is probably it for now. I feel like there's a lot to come up there. I've got more kits that I want to review. You may have seen the last one was a bit of a fail, but that's okay. So anyway, I do have more to review. I've got, I really want to do more of these. I just want to do all the things. I've got to do more strips. I have to make Sammy the bear. I've got to catch up on the Amigurumi World Tour. I'm a few makes behind actually. And it's not, you don't have to do every single make. However, especially as I will be receiving the book, I feel like I want to. So yeah, I need to catch up on that as well. But as we all know, there are never enough hours in the day, are there? So I will just do what I can, and I'll do what I can. Okay, so that's it for episode 17. And at the time of recording this video, I think I'm 397 subscribers. Thank you so much. Getting ever so close to ticking over the 400 mark. So that's awesome. Thank you all for being here, and I will hopefully see you next week. Bye for now. At Cat Cake Okay, let's try again. Good morning. If you're new here, my name is Jenni from Inmysparetime Crochet.